What would you do if your worst nightmare wasn't a dream, but your family? In a crumbling apartment building, 5 innocent lives become trapped in a horrifying game of possession, blood, and ancient evil. This isn't your typical haunted house. This is Evil Dead Rise, where the only escape is through pain, survival, or death. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most terrifying reimaginings in horror cinema. From bone-crushing sound design to skin-crawling performances and some of the goriest moments in franchise history, this is not for the faint of heart. Buckle up, because the dead are not done rising. Welcome to our full breakdown and analysis of Evil Dead Rise. The film opens with a familiar atmosphere, isolated, quiet, and filled with dread. A girl, Teresa, is visiting her cousin Jessica at a secluded lakeside cabin. Things quickly turn nightmarish as Jessica suddenly levitates, scalps Teresa, and brutally murders her boyfriend. It's a blood-soaked prologue that sets the tone immediately. This movie will be relentless. But what's most disturbing isn't the gore. It's how quickly evil spreads. It jumps from character to character like a virus, corrupting bodies and destroying trust. This intro echoes the original Evil Dead tone, but with a modern, claustrophobic twist. Then, the timeline jumps back one day. We're taken from the wilderness to the heart of a crumbling city, a condemned apartment building in Los Angeles. We meet Beth, a guitar tech living out of a suitcase, who visits her sister Ellie, a tattoo artist and single mother of 3, Danny, Bridget, and Cassie. The family is struggling, the building is falling apart, and their bond is fraying. Then comes the earthquake. It cracks open a hole in the building's basement garage, revealing an old vault beneath what used to be a bank. Danny, curious and naive, finds a dusty book bound in flesh, the Necronomicon. Alongside it, some old vinyl records. Fans of the franchise immediately recognize the danger. That book is evil, but Danny doesn't. He takes it home. That decision marks the end of innocence. As night falls, Danny opens the book. Its pages are grotesque, filled with horrifying illustrations and warnings written in blood. He plays the vinyl records, revealing ancient incantations read by a priest, an audio diary of terror. Despite Ellie's warnings, Danny ignores the signs, and the unthinkable happens. A dark presence is unleashed, something ancient and cruel. Ellie, taking out the trash, is trapped in the elevator when the force slams into her body. What follows is one of the film's most disturbing possession scenes. She convulses, screams, and is mutilated by unseen forces, all while her children wait helplessly upstairs. When she returns, she's changed. Her voice is off. Her stare is hollow. Her words are twisted and malicious. And then she begins to attack. In a brutal scene, Ellie scalds herself with boiling water, devours glass, and kills a neighbor with her bare hands. Her body is no longer hers. She's a deadite, possessed and beyond saving. Beth and the children barricade themselves inside the apartment, but the walls are thin, and the evil is growing. One by one, Ellie's attacks become more violent and creative. Blood is spilled in gallons, bones are snapped, and the apartment becomes a prison of nightmares. One of the most powerful themes in Evil Dead Rise is twisted motherhood. Ellie is a mother, loving, flawed, human. But as a deadite, Her maternal instincts turn into weapons. She taunts her children, calls out to them in her normal voice, pretends to be in pain, and when they fall for it, she attacks. The horror here isn't just physical, it's emotional. Beth, the aunt, becomes the reluctant protector. She's never wanted kids. She's unsure of herself. But now she must step up, becoming a maternal figure to save her niece and nephew. Bridget, the older daughter, is the next to fall. After being scratched by Ellie, she slowly transforms. Her body rots from within. Her mind slips away. In a shocking scene, she kills the family cat, stabs her brother, and whispers twisted lullabies. There's a scene where Bridget vomits black bile and maggots. It's not just for shock. It's a symbol of corruption, of innocence being devoured. By this point, the apartment is drenched in blood. Ellie is locked out, banging on the door, whispering to her kids, luring them with love and violence. And Danny is dying. The boy who started it all is now watching his family crumble. This is when Beth finds the truth. In the recordings, the priests speak of the book being one of 3 Necronomicons. They tried to stop the evil. They failed. Now, it's up to Beth to end it. As the night deepens, death surrounds Beth. The apartment is a graveyard. Bridget lies dead, or at least what's left of her. Danny, bleeding out, confesses to unleashing the curse and begs Beth to stop it before it consumes them all. Then comes the twist. Ellie returns, but not alone. The deadite infection spreads like wildfire. Ellie uses the elevator to reach the apartment again, and the film delivers one of its most gruesome set pieces, an elevator drowning in blood. A tribute to The Shining, the scene is terrifying, symbolic, and masterfully shot. But that's not all. The horror evolves. Ellie's body fuses with Bridget and Danny's corpses, forming a grotesque, multi-limbed abomination, the Marauder. This creature is a nightmare incarnate. It grunts, screams, and drags its twisted limbs as it chases Beth and young Cassie through the building's parking garage. It's no longer about possession. It's about complete transformation. Beth, armed with a chainsaw and a shotgun, iconic weapons in the Evil Dead franchise, prepares for the final fight. The showdown in the garage is brutal, fast, and relentless. She slices, it roars. Cassie helps. The child proves more courageous than most adults in horror films. And then, silence. Beth forces the Marauder into an industrial wood chipper. Flesh is torn. Bones snap. Blood floods the garage. It's over. But the silence doesn't bring peace. Beth, covered in blood, exhausted and trembling, walks away with Cassie, traumatized, broken, but alive. Or so it seems. Evil Dead Rise isn't just about blood and screams, though it has plenty. It's a film that understands horror on a psychological level. Let's break down some of the key themes and filmmaking choices that make it stand out. 1. Motherhood reversed. Ellie and Beth are 2 sides of the same coin. Ellie, the biological mother, is corrupted, her love twisted into torment. Beth, reluctant and distant, becomes a protector, unwilling, but ultimately heroic. The transformation of Beth into a mother figure isn't just about saving Cassie. It's about confronting fear, trauma, and stepping into responsibility. This adds a layer of emotional depth often missing from traditional horror. 2. Urban isolation. Most Evil Dead films are set in forests or remote cabins. This one is different. By placing the horror inside a city, inside a home, the film redefines terror. You can be surrounded by people and still be alone, still be trapped. The apartment complex is a character itself, decaying, shadowy, and dangerous. It mirrors the crumbling family structure, the breakdown of safety, and the vulnerability of modern life. 3. Practical effects and brutal sound design. Evil Dead Rise leans heavily into practical effects. The gore feels real. From shards of glass in the throat, to blood-soaked hallways, to vomit-filled mouths, everything is tangible, thick, and revolting. The sound design amplifies the violence. Every crunch, slash, and gurgle is exaggerated, immersing the audience in discomfort. It's not just horror, it's sensory assault. 4. The Legacy of Evil Dead. This film doesn't ignore its roots. It honors the original Evil Dead trilogy by Sam Raimi, from visual cues to camera angles to the iconic chainsaw and shotgun combo. Even the structure, a group trapped, one by one falling to possession, ending in a bloodbath, is classic Evil Dead. But Rise also evolves the formula. It introduces new stakes, new dynamics, and proves that horror can be both nostalgic and innovative. 5. The ending twist. In the final minutes, we return to the woods. Remember Teresa and Jessica from the opening scene? The movie comes full circle. A new girl from the same apartment building comes down to the garage the next morning, unaware of the carnage, and she gets possessed. This is the same girl from the beginning, revealing that the prologue was actually the ending. The cycle of evil continues. The dead will rise again. Evil Dead Rise is more than just a reboot. It's a resurrection. It revives one of horror's most iconic franchises with style, terror, and blood. Gallons of it. With standout performances, especially from Alyssa Sutherland as Ellie, the film manages to be both disturbing and oddly captivating. Her portrayal of the possessed mother is bone-chilling, oscillating between demonic rage and fake maternal calm. The film also takes risks. It isn't afraid to kill children, corrupt families, or push boundaries. It respects the intelligence of horror fans. It doesn't rely on jump scares. It builds dread, sustains it, and then unleashes it in waves. So is Evil Dead Rise the scariest movie in the franchise? That's up for debate. But one thing is certain, it's one of the most brutal. And it proves that the Evil Dead universe still has plenty of demons left to unleash. If you made it this far, congratulations, you survived. But be warned, evil never sleeps, and neither does the Necronomicon. Thanks for watching our full breakdown of Evil Dead Rise, a terrifying, gut-wrenching, blood-soaked ride into madness. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Which scene haunted you the most? Would you survive a night in that apartment? And most importantly, are you ready for what comes next? Until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and never, ever read from the book.